Now it'll probably be live in just a few seconds here. But hello, everybody. I forgot to remember that it was daylight savings time, and I didn't realize like Arizona doesn't do daylight savings time. And I'm in California, and Anthony, our guest today, is in Florida. So apologies if there's any like weird time things going on with that, but looks like there's some folks on already, so that's a good thing that not everybody got mixed up by that. But today we've got a very special guest with us. It's the guest week of the class, and we've got a different Anthony with us, Anthony Armand, and I hope I'm getting that right. And I've been talking to Anthony.
Oh, hi, Brett.
Yep. How's it going, Anthony? Just to give everybody a little bit of background about Anthony, just super briefly, he's from France, right? Originally?
Right, exactly.
Been in the US for about 1.5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Started a food started his food truck, first started serving his food about 10 weeks ago. So he is definitely like kind of probably 6 months ahead from where you guys are potentially right now, maybe 12 months ahead, depending on where you're at in the planning of it. But I think Anthony has got some really good information to share just about what it's like to really get started and what to focus on in the early days and things to think about with your business plan, things that end up costing more than you thought it would cost. And just things to focus on. As I see him shaking his head at the cost standpoint there. But just like all the other classes too, just want to shout out if you have a question at any time, feel free to type it into the chat area, and I'll make sure Anthony gets that question. And yeah, just feel free to do that at any time, and then we'll ask him anyways. But if you are interested, and I added this to higher up on the link area, but you can actually check out, while you're watching this too, Anthony's website at oliveonion.com.
Thank you, bud.
And it's a really awesome website, actually.
Thank you so much.
oliveonion.com. And he is located in Florida. And I guess with that, Anthony, would you mind just starting off by just kind of like give us the little like short summary of like your life, like where you're from?
Yeah.
Why you decided to start a food truck?
So, guys, I was at your place like last April. I followed Brett and Anthony class like for 8 weeks, and it was really amazing. So everything is possible. I make it, and they really give me the tools to make it happen and some knowledge that I don't have. Because as Brett said, I am French. I arrived in US, in Florida, like 1.5 years ago, following my wife, who has been transferred here. And I decided first to make a restaurant, too much money, too much investment, too much collateral. So after that, I wanted to make catering. And finally, I find this class amazing. They explain me how to make a food truck. So you can have the kitchen, you do catering, and you can go to events, and you can decide to see where is the client the best way. So I think definitely the food truck is an amazing opportunity for all of you if you want to make money and to start a business in the restoration business. What can I tell you? So I created my company 1 year ago, but I start my food truck like 10 weeks ago. After 10 weeks, I have I made like around 30 events. And yeah, it's going pretty well. It's growing faster than I expected. I'm making French Mediterranean food, so something that American doesn't know, or at least Florida people don't have any idea. Maybe in California, probably better, but here they just eat Latino food and they don't know what is French Mediterranean, except they think crepe. I don't make any crepe. And or they think Lebanese food like a gyro with a gyro meat and everything. I don't make any of this. So you can see on the website what I'm doing. I'm making some French recipe in a Mediterranean way with olive oil and with fresh vegetables, and in a model of chipotle. which is my model of studying. So you people pick a protein, they choose a sauce, they choose a support, and they choose the topping they want on it. So people choose and make it what they want, and everything's fresh, nothing frozen, nothing fried. This is my concept. It makes me a big difference because most of the food trucks are just roast food, deep fry them, and make them cooking and try to sell them just to make the money at the short-term vision. But yeah. So if you have any question, how I make this happen, or how Brett and Anthony helped me to make this happen, just feel free. I'm here.
Yeah. Cool. I guess one of the things, and I know we talked about this, but I thought this would be interesting to share. You mentioned about how within like the last few days of operating your food truck or whatever, you had like your best day ever. And it was awesome. And then literally the exact next day was like basically the worst day ever as far as like business wise, and just the highs and lows of it. So I was just wondering if you could just so people kind of understand from your perspective, especially starting out, what it's like. You just kind of share what those highs and those lows were like over that one weekend time period.
So yeah, as Brett said, so my highest day was last Friday. I had a lunch. It was a place I was coming back for. It was an office, like an office building. I was coming back for the third time. People start to recognize me. People speak to each other, bring friends, bring colleagues, and I made for lunch like around $600 compared to $250 I was making the first time and $400 the second time. So I mean, it's a good progressive in the same environment, same place, but just word to mouth and just people recognize me. So was really good. And I make another event for the first time the same night, but really good. I make another $600 with 15 different food truck. Food truck who have been here for years in Florida, new food truck, but a lot of people and big competition. 3 other Mediterranean food truck on the 15. And I make $1,200 last Friday. I was amazing, so happy. I say it's a party time, let's enjoy. Saturday, let's make the same happening. And I was going Saturday, 8:30 a.m., be present in an event, leaving my home at 7 to be on time on the site. It was a beer festival. They were expecting 2,000 people. We were like 13 food truck. And from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., I made $200. There was only 200 people show up. They was giving free food to people, delivering Domino's Pizza or Pizza Hut every half an hour with like 10 pizza around them. And so we get all pissed off. All the food truck get pissed off, and none of us, we made more than like $300 in total, each one of us. So me, I made $200 the same day for 8 hours or 10 hours of work. So it just happened. You have low day. It was my lowest day, my second lowest day, and my best day is the day before. So it's the issue. You never know what's going to happen. You just have to show up, go to the event, and expect one good day, one bad day, and making an average something nice.
So just to reiterate, on Friday you made $1,200. Saturday $200. What was like the difference between those two like events that you were doing?
The first event, because I'm only going event. I cannot park in the street here in Florida, and I don't have any fixed place yet. I'm not looking for it. So my first two events cost me around $200, and I get an employee to come with me. Cost me another $100 for the day. My food cost is around 25%. So let's say I make a net around $600. I mean, to pay all those bills, because you have still a lot of bills to pay. And the next day, my event fee was like $75. My employee was $100. My food cost was another $300, and I had to trash everything as I'm making only fresh product. So I lose $400 the second day. So hopefully I make 600 positive Friday, minus 400. So in the 2 days, I'm only 100 positive. So in average. So I don't know what to tell you. It's just difficult. I'm lucky because is my own truck, and I can't make it alone, or I need to have an employee. I saw some colleagues who need to be 2 or 3, and I'm making as a partner, but we can talk about this later. Sometimes difficult to make enough money to live.
So you're operating the food truck by yourself right now, right? And then hiring on an employee
exactly
when you need it?
Well, yeah, exactly. When my system is made, I mean, you have to think about when you design your food truck, or when you think about what you want to cook, you have to think about how fast you can produce the food, how good can be the food, and like if you have 2 hours to sell, how many orders you can take. Last Wednesday, I make a crazy day. It was an hour and a half. We make 60 orders in 2 people. 60 orders in an hour and a half. It's like a sandwich or a salad, what I'm making. Every less than 2 minutes, it took us to make a salad, and a sandwich. My system allows it. You have to build all your system to see how much you can produce and how much you can sell. Because if you can make only a burger, it takes you 10 minutes to make a burger. You can only make 6 an hour, or you need to be 3 or 5 people to cook the burger behind. So you have to think about how fast you can produce the food, how much is your food cost, and can you do it alone? I was making some brewery. Is the easy way for brewery. How do you say it in English? Brewery?
Yeah, brewery. Yeah.
Brewery. So I was making this at the beginning. It's really cool because they don't ask you fees. So it sounds amazing. You don't have to pay them front. But the issue is they don't guarantee how many sales you make. I made one yesterday night. I was going there just to rotate my stock, and generally I was making like between 150 to 250 a night. So I don't have money to pay an employee. So I just go there to rotate the stock. I arrived there yesterday night. They tell me to be there at 5 p.m. I arrived at 6:30 p.m. Tell me, there will be people. There was one guy in the bar. One single guy in the bar. And I say, okay, you know what? Sorry, I cannot stay. There was a witness, and the single guy say, I'm leaving, I'm going. Because it was, if you stay, you lose your food, you everything, and you lose your time, your gas, and everything. You will lose money. And sometimes breweries are really good to start. But most of my colleagues now, who start in same time than me, like 4 or 5 trucks around here, 2 months ago, 1 month ago, they are already starting the brewery because most of them take advantage of you. They are not polite, they are not nice, they are not making any advertising, they just want to give food to people, they get free food. And if you make a $200, how can you survive? Moreover, if you have 2 employees, if you have 2 people inside the truck, you cannot make any money. It's not possible. So yeah, I mean, I will not go back to the brewery, not anymore. And my colleague were not making any box since a week there, so there is an issue. And can be the easiest way, but sometimes it's better to pay your fees to be sure to make some money. Nope.
I know. Okay, so we got quite a few questions coming in for you, Anthony, and thank you for sharing that. And I know one of the things too, and this is like one of the big questions that comes up is, you're literally just starting out in your business, and you said 10 weeks, is like the time period that you've been operating, and in that 10 weeks, you've had 30 events. So how did you go about getting those events when nobody knew about you before?
No, exactly. I don't have any, and I don't know any people here. I don't have any red. I don't have any network. I don't have any past job here. I don't have any past colleagues. My wife is making a corporate job, so they really don't care about food and anything. I mean, it's difficult, and let's say we are really alone here. How I make it, and we were talking about this earlier with Brett before, is you need to have a card, an ID card, and the ID card for me is my website. I invite you to see it. I mean, it took me a full month, full-time job to make it myself. I had the knowledge, but otherwise, just go and Fiverr or other people. They subscribe, contract it in India or other country. It will cost you between $500 and $1,000. Don't make it in US. Sorry, don't make it in US. Subscribe by Fiverr. It's really cheap. You have to give them the content, but they make an amazing website. And I got all my events only by my website. I got most of my event by a guy organized here, which is one of the famous association of food truck. And I just send him by Facebook a messenger, say, hi, I'm a new food truck, I'm making this. can you check my website? If you want, I can be part of your event. He checked my website. When he saw the message, after he checked the message directly, he said me, okay, send me your information and let's start to work. And now I'm getting around 20 of the event was making with this guy. I got lucky, but my other 10 event was getting also by my website. And now I'm entering 2 new association this week because I just sent them my website.
So just to reiterate, you started out by emailing some of the other popular food trucks and you made sure to send them to your website to check out what your food was, basically.
Because it's a picture. We are in a visual. Yeah. We are in 70% of French, probably the same in America. 70% are visual people. 25% are auditive people, and the last are kinesthetic people. So you have to feel emotion, you have to feel auditive. When I play my food truck, I put French music, really old French music. I don't listen myself, but it attracts the client. I have my TV with a video, I have the picture of my food under the truck. So I want to attract every kind of people, the visual, the auditive, and the kinesthetic people. And this is really important. So spend time to make your website. If you don't know how to make it yourself, don't use Big Daddy or I don't know which other website to tell you, or Square will tell you they will make you. Guys, I took a full week with my wife. We cook all the plate, a full week, full-time week. We took all the pictures, all the video of the plate. We have a 1,000 picture database of pictures of all the way of all my plate of all my food. This picture we are using now for Instagram, Facebook, and everything, just reusing them. But you have to make this work. And even if you contract someone, if you don't send them the information, if you don't send the picture, they will still make you a crappy website. But the website is your ID card, except if you make burger. But everybody make burger, everybody make tacos. So if you don't have any difference with the taste and everything, with a website, you can make a difference. Amazing picture. No shadow, no dark, no. Use a filter and use an iPad to do everything. I mean.
Yeah. So you took all your food photos on the website just using an iPad yourself, basically.
No, just using a camera. But I mean, after all the picture has been retouched by the iPad with a different program with a filter. We retouch all the picture, we cut them, we take out the shadow, we take out some things. In Amazon, we bought a box, that you can take picture. It cost 50 to 100 bucks. And all our plate, we put them in this white screen, so you can cut it in a white plate. We took your food and all the pictures, so we have all our food enclosed with the 2 lights on the side. It's really cheap. We didn't have any money. We just took our camera or a good phone, you can make it, and with this studio photo, you can just take the picture.
Yeah. Would you, after we get done talking, would you mind just sending over the link of the box that you bought, and then just so we can send it out to everybody that's listening in case they want to take their own food photos?
I will send you the box of the photo.
Okay.
Sure.
Same with any. What was the editing program that you used?
Honestly, I will ask my wife because she's in social media. I need to delegate one time. Yeah. But for all the posters, also all my menu I print them on. I have a good printer, and I after plastify them, and I use Google Draw, simple Google Draw, to make all the menu and all the promotion. Google Draw, Google Drive, Google Doc. Google is just amazing, and just make everything. Now we are using Google Hangout. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just free, guys. So Google Draw, I make all my menu and everything. I don't know if I have a menu here, but yeah, I make everything there. Really simple. No money, but visual. Look, I think I have a. This was my breakfast menu. Maybe you can see it. I had to make a breakfast. I didn't like the idea, but I took picture of the things. I make it myself. It's not really amazing, but at least it doesn't have any cost. Just buy a paper, buy a plastify machine, $20 in Walmart, and just plastify everything, because it's raining also and it doesn't move and you can reuse them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Where did you go to? I guess what did you use to build your website too?
Okay, so yeah. I was using a system that I used before. I mean, my partner, I was living in Mexico, and we had a website selling like some gastronomic guide in Mexico, and we use Shopify.
Okay.
Shopify, I mean, because some people use WordPress, but WordPress is complicated. Shopify costs you buy a team between 100 and 200, 250 bucks, and everything. You don't have to know the codage. So you just have to put the things inside, the picture. They ask you the main page, the second page, the third page. So it's really easy to make. And the domain name costs you a year. And after Shopify, if you take it not with the e-market, without the e-market, it costs you like $14 a month. It's really cheap. Me, I had a widget for $7 a month to put me my calendar automatically with my Google Calendar. Automatically, all my events go to the website, and I put another widget for free who put all my Instagram last pic. So all my photo, my picture on the website are just my Instagram feeder news, last Instagram post. So it's really easy. Shopify, really easy, really cheap. The first 15 days are free, so you can just try it and make it happen.
Awesome. I have a question from Amanda, and I think you sort of partially answered some of this before, but you might have another like deeper answer too. Is Anthony, how did you promote your food, and how did you get your business out there to people? I know that like the website is part of it, and you emailed some of the popular food trucks in your area, but I guess what are some of the other ways that you've gotten events too, of these like 30 that you've done so far?
Is making PR. I mean, you need to make public relation. You know, you're a brand. I mean, for me, I'm considering I try to build a brand. So you are the visage. When you are not working or when you are working, you are yourself, because you are a business owner and it's your business. I mean, is everything that you have. Most of you guys, you will put all your money, all your house as collateral, all what you have to make this happen. I mean, it's what all of us will do to make it happen. Otherwise, we will do other job. If we have money, we will do other job. We pay more and more easier. No way. So you have to pay attention to people. Me at the beginning, I had a lot of mistakes because my internet was sucking. My didn't work well. I couldn't get really well the credit card. So I was just offering free food. I was like, I had an hummus. You need to have a product which is a cheap product, but was high value when you sell it. I make my own hummus. It cost me 30 cents. I sell it $3. So it's really an amazing product for me. People are really happy. And at the beginning, I was the first month, I was offering half of my hummus. Since 2 weeks, I offer, like I think last week I sell like 100 hummus, and I offer 5. So I'm not offering any more hummus. It's not because I don't want to offer hummus. It's just because I don't make any more mistake. Before I was offering when people are waiting too much because you start to learn how is it working, dealing with it. I couldn't get the payment on time. I had to ask them check. I put them waiting, and my employee or me made some mistake in the sandwich and everything. Just offer them something free. They keep you happy. They keep you in mind, and they remember you. Mm-hmm. This guy is a commercial. Even if I had some time, I was charging like 5-10 times with swiping the card, never work. I say, okay, you know what? Your meal is on me. It's not the fault of the guy. It's my fault because I don't have the system which is working. But that's why what happened when I was Friday lunch first time is where it happened the first 2 times, and now I make $600 in the same place. So I have a turnover increasing on 50% each time I'm going back there. So it's just what you have to do. And the second thing is when you are dealing with people who organize the event, even if you have to pay $200 for an event, when they come eat in your place, don't charge them, guys. Come on. I saw some beginner mistake in front of me, some truck who just started sanitizing me, and I saw them last Friday. They asked the guy, they asked them like $30 for the sandwich, what he took. Me, this guy will find me more than 20 events now, and I have already 20 more events for the next 6 weeks coming with him, already booked, sure, secure with this guy. each time I saw him, I offer him free food, I offer him free hummus. I ask him, I sell Perrier, do you want a Perrier, do you want anything? Everything is on me. And this guy remembered me. This morning I was making some sausage for him because he wanted one of my products, which is a lamb product. He wanted to make them on the barbecue. So I spent the morning to make it for him. I make $200 order for him this morning, just a catering, just to send him for him to make his barbecue. Is this kind of relation you want to develop with people? First the website and after PR relation. Never charge the people that organize. Even if you are losing money, even if you are pissed, even if they suck, keep a smile. You never know what is the influence of this guy. You never know how they can bring you business after, and they bring you business. Most of my just to finish this, yeah,
basically, anybody that organizes events, you're going to give them free hummus, which doesn't cost you a ton. But obviously, down the line, they're going to hook you up with more gigs in the future, bring you more business. You're going to build a relationship with them. They're going to be your favorite food truck, that sort of thing. That's a great process.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition here. I mean, I was supposed to go next week to a brewery, and I got the same guy calling me, the same organizer. He called me. I was in a church like 3 weeks ago, and they organized a new event next week, and he told me, Anthony, they called me. They really want you. They don't want. There is 6 food trucks, but they really want you. So can you make it? I say, okay, I will cancel my breweries that I will make maybe $300, and I will go there to make. Last time I make in 2 hours and a half, and with rain, after there was raining, so stop, I make $900. So definitely, if they want me there, I hope I make $800, $1,000. Even if it's 2-hour drive, but I'm definitely going there. And it's what you are building. You're building a relationship. You have to look long-term, mid-term, long-term, and to have more clients, to get catering. I start already to have some catering order for wedding, for Christmas party. And in only 10 weeks I am in the business. And they don't have any idea what I'm doing. Mm. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Corinne asks, you mentioned that a restaurant was too expensive, so you went to the food truck business instead. How do you prep your food in advance? Like, where do you go to prep, I guess?
Okay. You have a food truck. Let's be honest. I will answer you officially because it's what you should answer and what you should say. You have a food truck. You make in the Florida law. You made a food truck which is totally autonomous, which means 3 sinks inside plus 1 sink for the hand. And if you have this system inside the truck and a couple of other things, you don't need a commissary. It was my big interrogation with Anthony and Brett months ago. Where I find a commissary? How much is it? Here is $2,000 a month. A commissary is not possible for a food truck to make it happen. So you have to find a place. If you cannot park it front of your house, you have to find a place where you can park your truck with electricity and water. So you keep everything in your fridge, and you refill your water, and you waste your water somewhere. Some RV station make it. Some storage station make it, but really few actually. I mean, more than 30, I find 2. So yeah, it's possible. And I make here when you make the ServSafe exam, I think it's everywhere the same name, the ServSafe. You know, the exam of food handler exam. Brett, maybe you can help me on this. I mean, here in Florida we have a food handler exam.
Yeah.
ServSafe. It's called. Is you to have 4 employees. If you have more than 4 employees, you need to have this exam to know how to prep food, to know the condition of temperature, to know the cooking condition and everything. It's an exam. It costs $150. It's easy. It's not too difficult if you have some knowledge. I mean, you can make it. You will learn a lot. I advise everybody to make it actually. And I make my prep all in 1 week, in one or 2 days in the beginning of the week. I know I will sell 200 or 300 portions. I prepare 200 or 300 portions, and I keep them in the fridge of the truck, in my prep table in the fridge there, and I prep everything ready. And when I arrive to the event, everything is ready. I just warm up my meat, my protein, my salad ready. I put my cashier in place, and I'm ready to sell. And This depends what you are making. I don't use my plancha. I don't use my plancha. I don't use my oven. When I'm on site, I just use a steam table just to warm the meat. So I'm much more faster. But this depend which kind of food you are going to make. I'm talking a lot, I know, sorry, but.
Oh, no, this is great. I just wanted to mention Amy and Gonzalo both mentioned, Amy mentions that she got a lot of help on her website through SCORE and her Chamber of Commerce. And then Gonzalo said that his Small Business Development Center of Virginia is helping him out to put like a really nice looking website together. So definitely check those out.
Yeah. I work with SCORE a lot. I mean, I work with SCORE before knowing you, before taking your class. I took from last September to, let's say, February, a couple of SCORE class. I think like more than 20. SCORE is an amazing association. I advise you a lot to follow the SCORE trainings. They cost a couple of like 30, 40 bucks for 3 hours training. I learn a lot from tax to social network to website to start to run a restaurant. Depend where you are, how is powerful your SCORE association. You really definitely should go with them. The only thing is about SCORE. The only thing about SCORE, they will not make the job for you. They will really not make the job for you. Most of these people who are going to SCORE are business owner, entrepreneur, people. They tell you they are people who are retired. Is wrong. They all have their own company, and if you want to go more deeper in the knowledge, they just want to sell you their service. I think as a food truck, you don't have the money to sell it, to buy the service. Maybe if you're part of some minority, you can have access to some grant. Was not my case, but maybe you can have access to some grant, to some specific program if you have some minority, veterans, single woman, or other, or some. I mean, you know better than me the different kind of minority here. And there is a couple of programs, and even with the SBA association. But one more time, SBA association, I visit there a couple of times. I show them my business plan. Let's say they have never been business owner. They are just working for the state or for the federal government. They don't have any idea what is to run a business. Let's be honest. And they will just, I mean, it's my opinion, but it's better to find a friend or some relationship who has a real business, who will read your business plan, give you advice, feedback, even if it's not in the industry. Me, I have 2 people who help me in France. One is a shop owner, another one is a lean engineer, and they're helping me. And a third one is a chef in France. And I translate my business plan in French and in English just for them to help me. Look in your country of origin or anybody, but yeah, state people, I mean, they are not in your shoes, and it's not their money, so they don't really help you really well, I think so. It's my opinion, it's my personal opinion.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. One of the things too I wanted to ask you about, and this is one of the things that you brought up before we got on here, but I thought it'd be important to touch on, is you put together a business plan. And then some of the costs though, like for example, the food truck, you said you had estimated a certain amount for, and it ended up being a lot more. Could you kind of talk about like what you found to be based on your projection, compared to what your projections were? Okay,
I mean, you're right. I mean, I make 5 business plans different. One for the restaurant, a second one for the restaurant, after one for the catering. I mean, I knew what I was talking about. I knew my industry. I knew my network, my market, and everything. These you really should follow Brett advice and Anthony advice. They're really good guys. They give you a lot of tools. I still have all the booklets they give you here on the site to get some information sometime. Make your business plan, guys. And finally, I made a food truck business plan. So with a lot of knowledge of before. My first estimation, I wanted to buy a used truck, 30K around 30K, let's say, what we can find was my budget here. And I thought I had a 35 total, I could make it happen. In reality, I saw a different truck, visit different truck. When you buy a used truck, you don't know the mechanic, you don't know the system inside, the kitchen inside is not necessarily made for you, which is an issue. I think Anthony was saying the same in masterclass that the kitchen, his first kitchen was not made for what he was doing, and after, I discovered that a lot of people had some fees or some tax they didn't pay about it. The last food truck, I visited like 10 different food trucks, and the last food truck didn't pay. Most of them never pay the highway toll. So when you buy a used food truck, you have to pay this one before to get registered in the Florida law. So you receive all the last payment, and the last one didn't pay the tax every year during the last 6 years. And it was really cheap. It was like 28. It was really amazing food. I say, fuck, there is an issue, you know. And when I go deeper, I discovered there was $6,000 of fine, $1,600 of fine for only 2017 year that they still own to the American government. And I discovered that if I was going to buy that truck, if I wanted to get the license to change the VIN number, I had to pay first this tax to the government. This guy never told me, of course not. I decided to go to buy a used truck, but to remake everything inside with a professional who make it happen. And so I go to a truck. It cost me $50K, but I had my own kitchen. I had someone who can certify me the vehicle with a Carfax and everything, who was not a truck used before, and I make everything happen. But it was not enough, because when you start, you need to buy a lot of material. You need to buy the fees of the event. You need to buy the T-shirt. You need to buy the square. You need to buy all the system around. And so you have to add at least 10K. And from 30K, I arrive at 60K, and is some money that if you don't plan a bit about it, you will collapse before revenue starting, because you need all of this to start actually. And I remember when I was making
so just to clarify, in total for everything, the food truck, the system, square, which is the payment processor, everything all in was about $60,000 for you to get started.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, depend. If you want to take risk or not. I mean, if you want to park illegally in the street, or if you want to have a license, if you have the license, you can go to the event, you can go to city, you can go to all these associations who organize event. They will ask you all of this. And you need to pay the insurance, the car insurance that I didn't know. You need to have a commercial insurance. You need to have the flip or other organization, which is a general liability, like $1 million insurance. So all of this is some down payments. All of this is some money I have to pay. I'm already paying now some event in December and January. It's $100, $200 fees that I'm already paying just to be sure to get the event. And if you don't have the cash flow, you can just go to the event. So,
Tony asks too, did you borrow money to start your business, or do it on loans, or like how did you raise the 60,000?
How did I raise? Is really simple. I cannot, in a way that I cannot get any loan in America, which is really difficult. I cannot get any loan in Mexico or in France, as I was not there anymore. So it was mainly all our saving. I'm talking about the retirement plan that we were feeding up from years, that we took out all the money. It was some family money, like you call love money, from my brother, from my parents, from other friends. So it's our find money, because when you need to find money, you find the money. Mm-hmm. But I need not to find 30K, I need to find 60K. And in 2 months, I need to find the difference. And I found it. But you use all the resources, all your credit card, everything. Which is actually, I think, a big mistake. To go back, because when we were talking before, the things about it's difficult to make money at the beginning, and you need to be sure to have enough money to pay the bills, or someone else paying the bills before starting. Yeah. Maybe you can talk about
it too, and I know you were. This is on the topic of like used food trucks. What's the max you think is fair to offer for a used food truck? And she says, I have one offered for 65,000, but I'm not sure if I ought to come in with a lower offer.
I will not say it's a. I cannot answer this question, because it depends on the truck. Depend if it was a new truck. Me, I was a 15 years old. It's 17 years old truck. You know, it's 17 years old truck. That they destroy everything, or like a FedEx or some truck before. I don't have any idea. And they bring me the truck. and they change everything inside. So it's a different way. If you buy a new truck like a year, only the truck, and after the machine inside, it can be 65, it can be 85. I have no idea. But if it's a 20 years truck with a kitchen, 10 years or 5 years kitchen, you should pay 20 or 30 bucks, except if it's something amazing and you buy the business, because sometimes some people sell you their business, which is different, which is actually maybe not such a bad approach. If you can find someone who can sell you his business to start with, because at least you have the client, you have the reputation, you have the brand, and this guy will help you to start over.
How much capital did you have when you got started? So like obviously you paid about $60,000 for the truck, but like how much extra did you have available for like food and other supplies like that?
I had 30,000, and I figured out I need to find 30 others. So let's say I found 60,000. I'm paying my salary since a month. I'm paying a salary from the income I'm making. So after a month, I could already, after let's say 6 weeks, I could already start to pay me a salary. It's not a real salary, like $9 an hour, only of prep and only of serving, which is actually only 25% of my real time of work, because the shopping and everything, the driving and everything. I mean, I'm making now these last 15 days, I make like around $500 for 2 weeks as a salary as I can pay me, which is okay. It's not bad. I mean, it's the beginning. But sorry, what was your question? I'm just going everywhere.
Oh, just how much like spending? How much capital did you have available to you after you got the truck?
Like at least 5 to 10,000. The event go really fast if you want to book them in advance. I book 30 events. I pay 30 events between $50 to $250 by event. So make the calculation. It's around. I already spent around $3,000 to $4,000 of event, just of fees, in 10 weeks. It's a lot of money.
I guess going back to like if you could go back in time to like when you were in this class, like what would you tell yourself like 6 months ago, or like what's the big tip that you would tell other people to work on right now that you think would be most helpful based on what you know now?
I told you this earlier when we were offline, and I will tell you guys, I told you like there is like 4 or 5 food trucks who start in the same time than me. Let's say 5. Let's say we have 5 food trucks who start that I know I have good relation with them. On these 5, 3 of them, 3 of them were doing this as a partner, so like a husband and wife, or wife and husband. 3 of them, 3 of these one, and two of us, me and another guy, we were lucky our wife was working and paying the bills. For the 3 first, the 3 guys or the 3 women, 3 of the person has to go back to get a part-time job to pay the bills. One go back to Uber. I just got like 2 hours ago, one of the colleagues was making Chinese food with his Chinese wife, really amazing food, really amazing, delicious. He has to go back. He's like 6 weeks in the business. He has to go back to work in a limo driver as he was before, because he cannot pay his rent since 2 months. And since 3 weeks, he didn't make any sales. It happened, guys. Not everybody got lucky or got the things, or just have a product the client like. I mean, there is so much competition. You need to have. I'm lucky that my product is amazing in a way that people like it, and I have a good return. But it took me a year and a half of building my menu, and making tasting and everything. So fine, be sure that someone is paying the bill. Don't expect the food truck to pay the bill. That's what I would have loved to know 6 months ago. Hopefully, I'm not facing this. Me and my colleague, on the 2 on 5 of us, we are not facing this. But even my colleague, which his wife is paying the bill, he told me today maybe he's going to look to get a part-time job also. And when you get back to part-time job, you don't have time anymore to look for events, to cook for food, and you just do weekend. And if you just do it as a weekend, you will get tired really fast because you cannot just do a weekend. You will not get any more big events. You will not get what to now. People will not recognize you. You have to go there and you need to make 5 or 6 events a week. Gotcha. And so you need to be a full-time job. So you need to have someone who's paying the bill, and it cannot be you before 6 months. Gotcha. Or more, depending on your bills.
So bottom line, in the early days, definitely build up a savings and preferably only launch it with like one other person, because obviously that's going to cut down how much revenue you need. If you have a wife, one of you stay at work while this thing gets going, because a lot of people start out, they have like no runway, no extra cash, and that kind of gets things into problems if you happen to have one bad event, which you're going to have like a bad event eventually, right?
Exactly, or you will have a mechanic fail. This guy, like the last guy who is still not working, get back his job, which is like me as a wife was working. His truck has a mechanic issue. He has a trailer, but he has to pay $1,200 to fix his mechanical issue of truck. So now he cannot move his trailer because he doesn't have the money to repair his truck. And if you rent a truck, it's $200 a day to rent the truck to go an event. And if you are only making $100 a day, you are losing already some money. So you have to think about to have some money to save in case you have any mechanical issue. Any mechanical issue, it's a truck or trailer, can happen anytime. Me, I broke a window. It was $250 just to change a window. My main window driver, a stone on the highway after 3 weeks. What I do if I don't have $250 to pay the window? Mm-hmm. You have to have money to pay the gasoline. You have to pay money to buy the food. Some other food truck now doesn't have any more money to buy the food. So if you cannot buy the food, how can you go to the event, even if you can find some brewery who are free? So what I will tell you is to have the budget of your food truck, double it, and triple it to have this money. You need to have a saving of six months of your life cost as a saving. If you are going both of you on the business, have 6 months of money saving to pay all the bills. And this money is not going in the food truck. It's just to pay the bills for 6 months. Because nobody wants to pay, and it sucks when you are making everything, you put all your effort, all your money, all your love, all your motivation and everything inside. It's a big fail if you fail. And 3 of my colleagues are failing now after less than 2 months. Probably because none of them took Brett and Anthony class, so that's why they and
there you go.
Exactly. And 4 of them, I'm the only one who make a business plan. So
what do you think, what's been like the most challenging part for you, and what's been like the best part for you about being like your own business owner so far?
Let's start by the positive. The most let's say cool part is when I decide when I go, I decide what I do, when I do, with who I want to do. Now I'm start to decide, okay, I don't want to go anymore to this brewery, I don't want to go anymore this place. I start to black my place. Because I have already 20 events coming for the next 6 weeks, 5 weeks, so I start with the power to choose where I want to go that I couldn't do the first 2 months, 10 weeks. And this is really amazing. I mean, it's really amazing, and I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky about it. The things the most difficult for me, as I am alone, and this is the reverse of the things that you have your wife paying your bill, that you are alone. So most of the time you need to be at least 2 people, and it's really difficult to find an employee who want to come with you, even if you pay him well, even if you give him some tips, even if you pay higher than any fast food place that they will make. It's really difficult to find people motivated, people who are accepted to go with you in the truck, even if you don't pay their gasoline. But if you are going 2 hours of drive, they have to go 2 hours. You don't pay them for 2 hours to go. You don't pay them for 2 hours to come back. You just pay them for the event. So it's a big day. They have to accept to work Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. Most of these people are single mom. Sorry to say this, but most of these people are single mom. So they have kids. They don't have necessary kids to keep, and they're really challenging, because when the kid come, or when the nanny disappear, or when there is no nanny, they have to run away of your truck. to go take care of your kid and you just find alone, or just before leaving the garage or where you parked the truck, nobody show up, and you have to go alone, and you know you will have like 50 people coming for you tonight in 3 hours, and you have to make it alone, and you will lose money because you cannot make it alone totally well as if you are 2 people. So these are really bad things. Is to find difficult to find motivated people to work. If you have family, it's okay. But I don't have family here, so if your family will help you, it's really good, and they can help you. But they have to feel involved inside, and it's difficult if they don't get any money at the beginning to motivate them. Yeah.
Amanda was thinking about, she lives in a small town and has a bunch of small towns all around her too, and was thinking about making like sampler trays to sell these at events to get like her food and name out. Do you think that's like a good approach to kind of getting your name out there?
Sorry, I didn't get what you want to do.
Basically, has sampler trays to like sell at like fairs and carnivals.
Yeah.
To get her name out there, and is that like a good idea in your opinion or not?
Sample like free food, you mean? She want to give, or is it free or no?
I'm assuming it's free. Amanda, let us know if that's like kind of like a tray that's like free samples.
Because I mean,
free samples if yes.
I wanted to do this.
No, I guess.
You wanted to give. I like to give free food when someone buy me something, you know. I don't care to give free food, or if I make free, I like to give free. I don't like, but I give free things if I make a mistake. Nothing is free in this world, and in America there is nothing free in this country. Discover it, which is crazy. But you can offer things, but people have to buy you an entree. They have to buy you a plate. They have to consume. You know, they have to. Me, sometimes when I get an order over $30, I offer an hummus, I offer a chips. I never offer, for example, I never offer the drinks because the drinks cost me money, you know. Some truck maybe offer drinks. I don't ever offer drinks because I just buy soda, I mean, for me, but I offer promotion. All my soda are 25% off. I find excuse every time, but all the trucks sell it at $2, I sell it at $1.50. And since I'm selling at $1.50, I'm selling a lot of drink more than the other truck. I don't care. They cost me 35 to 60 cents. What I want is just to make sales. I mean, to rotate. The soda in the fridge, they don't make any money. Only if your fridge is empty. So to go back to the sample things and to the fair, I think you should participate to the fair. I think you can make. You should not make any free things. You can offer sample. Me, most of the time when I'm in a new place, I have a small pot and I give a sample of meat. People, do you want to try my food? Do you want to try? So I give them, and they try it, and you have to give them your most amazing product. If you give them your crappiest things, they will never buy your food. I saw some of my colleagues giving them, like one guy make like a deep fried pizza, which is, let's say, not really good. I don't really like it. Let's say it's an Italian guy, but I love the guy. But I saw him giving this.
So here's the idea. So the tray is not going to be like free samples. It's just going to be like a tray with samples of the food that's going to be sold. So basically like a visual of like the different things that you can purchase off the truck.
Yeah, but I mean, if you keep the food outside first, it will start to look bad really fast. I mean, here in Florida, it's 35, 40, 100 Fahrenheit degree. So with the temperature, depending where you are, the food gets really bad. So take a picture. Why you have to show up? Just take an amazing picture, put them on your truck, on your wrap. Take a picture, print it in a page. You can print it in a letter size, plastify it. Picture will never change. Doesn't matter how much sun, doesn't matter how much temperature, doesn't matter about any condition. For me, it really looked cheap when I saw someone put it in a foam in front of the client, all the plate is making. For me, it's a cheap way. It's really, most of the time, it's really crappy food, and like after 1 or 2 hours, the food looks really sad, really dead. And me, as a French, I mean, I don't want to buy this food. I mean, I will never buy the food. If I saw an amazing picture,
gotcha. Okay. Here's what it actually is. Here's the real question. And thank you for Melanie for like explaining this to me. Sometimes it's hard for me to like pick these things up. Okay, so the item, it's going to be like a sampler tray of like multiple different items that are sold on there. So for example, like chicken wings and French fries and, you know, something else. So like smaller sample sizes for $7 each, but you get like a taste of everything.
Yeah, it's actually something that my guy who organized the event, I'm making a degustation. He has a new lady organizing catering, and I wanted to show her, and I bring her a plate, all the sample for her to try. And this guy told me with all my sauce and all my protein, you know, and he told me, why you don't sell this as a sample? I say, why not? He tell me. And I plan actually to make the poster and make my picture of these sample things, like this combo of 3 or 4 samples together, and to sell it like $15 instead of $10 on my menu. So actually you should do this. You should still make a picture. You should still make an amazing picture and plastify it and put it.
Very good. Cool.
I go back basic. I mean,
awesome.
That is amazing idea. Sample, I think, is really American things, and I will follow it. And I make my first sample of sauce, and definitely people love it. Cool. So it's really good idea.
Well, we are approaching the 1 hour mark already. Anthony, I just wanted to say, like, thank you for coming on. Thank you for like sharing your experience, especially within the first, you know, basically 2.5 months of like operating your business. I definitely thought it was like a good idea to like get you on, because like Anthony has, the other Anthony has like his idea and like his whole set of experiences is starting a food truck, and then you've got like your whole set of experiences too, and some of them are going to be the same and some of them are going to be different. So I think it's just great to have you on and like be able to like share what it's been like for you, especially while you're getting started.
Sure, Anthony. I mean, Anthony has an amazing experience for me. Following just this class, sharing experience, I was like you guys. I had a lot of questions every session, and I was asking, and you were answering me, and I really appreciate this. Also by email or something. I mean, they're making an amazing job, and you really should make your business plan. What I tell you, enjoy, make it the last week to make the business plan. Show them. Me, I will be honest. I didn't appear in the last session. I just forget it. But I was honest. But I got back after the video, and I get the comment and everything. So, but I made my business plan. And make your business plan, guys. Make it happen. Anthony has an amazing experience. His business plan helped me, inspire me of the business plan. Inspire me of the SCORE business plan, which is something that SCORE make well, is their business plan. So steal their business plan and just use them. I mean, don't steal it. I mean, it's on their website, easily access. So use SCORE business plan, Anthony business plan to get the ID. And there's a couple of other food trucks who put their business plan. It's not my idea to put them online, but some others do. So just use them. And just start to do, but really think about 2 times about how much money you need and how much money you have, and don't put you in debt, don't put you in collateral, because I mean, if you know you don't have enough money, just don't start it. It's better than to lose 50K or 100K or 80K, doesn't matter. Don't start. You will have spent $300 for Brett, for the amazing class of Brett and Anthony. Stop here. Go to SCORE. Go $30 SCORE training. That's it. Don't spend more money if you don't have the money. Really. I'm sorry, but I don't know what you think, Brett, or what you think Anthony. Anthony, when I remember, his first business plan was like 25K, and I think he finished at 45 or 50K, and he will probably say the same to me tonight. That it was totally different than what he was expecting, but from what he arrived at the end finally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Is it, would it be okay if I shared with the class like your email address?
Yeah, sure. Show them the email.
Okay, cool.
Communication. I mean, also, I mean, we are here to help each other, and as that way, I really like the invitation of Brett today to be here with you guys. My goal, I mean, I'm my level. I'm only just starting. Is to go for. I mean, is that we are food truckers, that we are united, and that we are working together. I mean, we need to know where to go, where not to go. we need to have some support each other, and we need to help. I mean, sure, we have in some ways some competitor in some event, but also, I mean, now I'm calling people, just telling them, okay, can you go instead here, or can you go? And some other people today I just someone call me, just tell me, can you go there? And these are also a PR relation that you are developing. Don't be peers with other food truck in your network. Just get them friends. Some of them sucks, but just get friend with the other one and help each other. We are all in the same deeply shit. It's difficult every day, and of course you can share my data, my cell phone, my WhatsApp, or my phone number, and I mean everything is on the website. So, and you can also contact me on the website or the Facebook. Like my page, guys. Follow me on Instagram. Let's not forget the basic. And don't create a private page Facebook, not a friend page. Create a professional page of Facebook, not a friend account. Same for Instagram. So sorry.
And I'll make sure to in the post-class email wrap-up, I'll send over your Facebook page again and your email address and stuff like that, and website, obviously. That way people can check it out. But yeah, just thanks again for being on here. Really appreciate it. And I think everybody got a ton of value out of it. So thank you for that. And just for everybody else in the class too, as per the usual, check. I'll send a follow-up email with like the recording of this that you can check it out and watch it later. And then other than that, we'll see y'all next Tuesday. Normal time, normal place. And thanks a lot. See you later.
Bye.